Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are joining us from. Is your brain constantly bombarded with negative thoughts, anxieties, and worries? Do you feel like you are drowning in a sea of distractions and can't focus on what truly matters? You are not alone. You are not alone. But what if I told you that there was a way to break free from this mental clutter and achieve a state of peace, clarity, and focus? Would you believe it? In this episode or in this summary of Declutter the Mind book summary, we will dive into the key ideas of the book Declutter Your Mind and share practical strategies to help you, number one, identify and eliminate the sources of mental clutter, reframe negative thoughts into empowering beliefs, boost focus and productivity with mindfulness practices, set smart goals and achieve your dreams, and nurture positive relationships and building a strong supportive group. So are you ready to declutter your mind and unlock your potential? Now join me, Daniel, in another exciting summary as we help you start your journey to a more peaceful and fulfilling life. So once again, welcome. We are summarizing Declutter Your Mind by, it's a book written by two authors, S.J. Scott and Barry Davenport. And this book is a book that will help you declutter your mind. We are bringing you this from Udanmeds, the book summary section. So what is this book all about? What is the main topic of the book? If we can try to summarize the book in maybe one paragraph, what can we say this book is all about? So this book, number one, it is a self-help book that will always it focuses on reducing stress, anxiety, and negative thinking through decluttering the mind. The main topic of the book is how to manage and reduce mental clutter to achieve a more powerful and peaceful, productive, and fulfilling life. So, how can you manage and reduce? You cannot get rid of all the clutters in your mind, but you can manage them and reduce them. How can you manage and reduce the mental clutter and help you achieve a more peaceful, productive, and fulfilling life? So this book dives into various sources of mental clutter, including negative thoughts, anxieties, distractions, and unhelpful relationships. And this book also provides practical strategies and techniques to declutter your mind and improve your mental well-being. In essence, this book is all about, number one, understanding mental clutter, that is identifying what it is, how it forms, and its negative impact on your life. Number two, identifying the sources of your mental clutter, that is recognizing the specific factors that contribute to your mental clutter, including unhelpful thought patterns, external stressors, and negative environments. Number three, developing practical tools and strategies. This is a book that will help you develop practical tools and strategies. That is learning techniques like mindfulness, reframing negative thoughts, setting smart goals, and nurturing positive relationships to declutter your mind and cultivate peace and well-being. And lastly, making decluttering a continuous practice. So this book will give you those four main things. That is identifying what is a mental clutter, or where is the mental clutter coming from in your life. How that is what mental clutter means. That is number one. Number two, their sources, where do they come from? Number three, practical tools and strategies to overcome, manage, and reduce them. And number four, to make decluttering a continuous, lifelong process. How can you achieve that? This book will give you everything about that. So let me give you some key ideas or arguments, or you can still call them themes, which are presented in this book. Key ideas, arguments, or themes which are presented in this book, Declutter Your Mind. Number one is mental clutter causes distress. Mental clutter causes distress. Remember, when you're talking of mental clutter, it's like in your house. In your bedroom, for example, you've clothes here, you've clothes there, you've clothes here and there, down in the floor, in your closet, in your bed. So if, for example, you can imagine your bedroom having clothes all over. That's the mental clutter. You cannot get rid of all those clothes, but you can manage them. So in our minds, in our brains, we have all those mental clutters. They come from various sources, as we shall see in this book. So they are all in our minds, and those clutters, those things that are cluttering our mind, are having a negative impact, of course, such as reduced productivity, and unfulfilled lives, and we are not achieving to the extreme. We are not optimal in our performance. Such is what brings, or those are the negative impacts of mental clutter. So how can we get or manage them and reduce them, because we cannot get rid of them totally? And how can we make that decluttering a continuous process in our entire life? So in the book, we'll get some of these ideas that I'm about to give you. Mental clutter causes distress. So imagine your mind as a room, as I've just said. When it is filled with junk, it becomes cramped, dirty, and stressful. Similarly, your mental space can become cluttered with negative thoughts, worries, and anxieties, which will lead to stress and anxiety. This constant influx of negative thoughts can trigger stress hormones, leading to physical and emotional discomfort. Number 2, mental clutter can cause unhappiness and negativity, whereby dwelling on negative thoughts can create a pessimistic outlook on life and reduce overall happiness. Then we also have decreased productivity and focus. So mental clutter can make it difficult to concentrate and perform tasks efficiently. So mental clutter, you said, causes distress. It causes stress and anxiety, unhappiness and negativity, and decreased productivity and focus. Number 2, another theme or another idea is identify the sources of clutter. This book helps us to identify the causes of clutter. So just like physical clutter has various sources, mental clutter can stem from several areas, and some of the areas that cluttering comes from includes life stress, such as daily pressures, work demands, and personal challenges can contribute to mental clutter. So that is one of the sources. Life stresses, that is your expectations at workplace, the daily pressures that you have to, and the schedules that you have to work on, and some personal challenges that can contribute to mental clutter. Number 2, too many choices is another source. Too many choices. You do not know what to choose and what not to choose. So too many choices. In today's fast-paced world, we have endless choices that we have to make every single second. In fact, it was your choice. You had so many choices to listen to this or watch or read this summary. You've had so many choices to make. That can be a source of mental clutter. You do not know. You are not sure. Will I choose this or not? So we have so many endless choices, which can lead to the decision fatigue and overwhelm. That's true. Number 3, physical clutter, and it's another source. So a messy environment can be visually and mentally stimulating, contributing to mental fatigue and difficulty in focusing. That's another source. That is physical clutter. Then you can also have negative bias. Our brains are wired to pay more attention to negative stimuli than positive ones, leading to a distorted perspective of reality. So those are the various sources of clutter, mental clutter, that the book presents. Life stress, too many choices, physical clutter, and negative bias. Now, another idea or theme presented is how we can reframe our negative thoughts. Reframing negative thoughts is another theme or idea. So our thoughts are powerful tools that shape our emotions and expectations. But this book, Declutter Your Mind, teaches us how to, number 1, identify negative thought patterns. That is, notice them when you engage in self-criticism, catastrophing, or should statements. So there are those statements that say, I should have done this, I should have done that. Those are negative thought patterns, and you can use them to reframe those negative thought patterns. Number 2, how can you reframe negative thoughts? Challenge your thoughts. Challenge these thoughts. Question the validity of these thoughts and seek evidence to support more positive perspectives. And number 3, replace negative thoughts with positive affirmations. Consciously replace negative thoughts with uplifting and empowering statements. So this book will help us understand how we can reframe our negative thoughts through those different ways that I've mentioned. That is, identifying our negative thought patterns, challenging those beliefs, and replacing those negative thoughts with positive affirmations. So this book will help you and know how you can reframe. So another key theme or idea presented is mindfulness for mental clarity. How you can embrace mindfulness for mental clarity. So mindfulness is a practice of focusing your attention on the present moment without judgment. Focusing on the present moment without judgment. Declutter your mind will encourage you, so this book will encourage you to utilize and embrace mindfulness techniques such as which ones? Meditation and focused breathing. So those are the main mindfulness techniques that this book will present. And remember, their aim is to do what? Is to help us focus on the present moment without judgment. Without judgment. So this book will help us understand more about how we can practice meditation. That is, regular meditation helps us to observe our thoughts and emotions without getting caught up in them, leading to increased mental clarity and calmness. Also, book will also help us understand how we can embrace focused breathing. Deep and focused breathing exercises can help calm the mind and reduce stress and anxiety. So that's another theme or idea that is presented in the book. Mindfulness, how we can embrace mindfulness for mental clarity through meditation and focused breathing. Number 5 is the identifying of our values and passions. This book will also help us or teach us why we should identify our values and our passions, because knowing what truly matters to your life is essential to making decisions, setting goals, and living a fulfilling life. This book, Declutter Your Mind, will help us, number 1, identify our core values, because values are fundamental principles that will guide our decisions and actions. Remember, we've said one of the causes of mental clutter is the choices, too many choices. We do not know if to choose this or not, but what will guide us in making those choices are these values and passions. So that's why it is a very important or key idea that should be presented in this book, because our decisions will always be based on our values and our passions. So this book will help us identify our core values, because those are fundamental principles that will always guide our decisions and our actions. This book will also help us discover our passions. Remember, our decisions and our choices are based on our passions also. This book will help us identify what we love to do and what brings joy and fulfillment. This book will also help us align our goals and choices with our values and our passions. How can you practically align your goals, your choices, your decisions with what you value and what you are passionate about? This will ensure that you work towards a truly thing that matters to you and your life. Now, this book will also help us reduce distractions and procrastination. Reduction of distractions and procrastination. So in our digital age, we understand this, that distractions are everywhere, preventing us from focusing on important tasks, and that is a cause of cluttering in our mind. So Declutter Your Mind suggests various strategies that will get deeper in this book. They include minimizing distractions, such as doing what? The book offers practical things that you can do. Turn off notifications, silence your phone, and work in a quiet environment to reduce interruptions. Simply schedule and prioritize tasks. It's another way how we can reduce practical things that we can do to reduce distractions. Schedule and prioritize tasks, such as doing what? Planning our day effectively and prioritizing tasks based on importance and urgency. Another thing is break down large tasks into smaller manageable steps. That's another way to reduce distractions and procrastination that this book will help us learn about. Then we also have developing time management skills. So utilize the tools and techniques like the Pomodoro technique to stay focused and then avoid procrastination. So this book will help us with practical ways on how we can reduce distractions and procrastination. This book will also help us to set SMART goals. It's another theme, setting of SMART goals. So SMART goals are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound, or realistic and time-bound. So this book emphasizes on the importance of setting SMART goals, because what is the importance of setting SMART goals? In the bid to declutter your mind, provide direction and motivation. It makes goals more achievable, and they help you track progress and celebrate your success. So that's why it is so important to make or set SMART goals if you want to declutter your mind. because they'll always provide direction and motivation. They'll make goals more achievable. They'll track progress and celebrate success. They'll help you track progress and celebrate your success. Then another theme presented is the importance of nurturing positive relationships. Another one is embracing gratitude and positive affirmations, and embracing decluttering as a continuous process. Embracing decluttering is a continuous, lifelong process. So this one is not a one-time fix. It requires ongoing commitment and practice. Just like physical decluttering, mental decluttering also needs regular maintenance. And this book will remind us that there will be setbacks along the way, but we should not get discouraged by occasional negative thoughts or periods of stress, because we should always consider them as opportunities to practice our decluttering tools and techniques. Then this book will also remind us that consistency is very key in the process, because the regular practice of mindfulness exercises, positive affirmations, and other decluttering techniques is crucial for long-term success. And this book will also remind us to enjoy the journey, because decluttering our mind is a journey of self-discovery and personal growth. We should always learn how to embrace and celebrate our progress and enjoy the process by becoming more aware, positive, and fulfilled individuals. So this book entirely will always equip us with valuable tools and strategies to achieve a more peaceful and productive state of mind. Remember that it's a continuous journey. Don't forget that decluttering is a continuous journey, but if you can be dedicated, have enough practice, you can achieve those goals and experience decluttered, calm, and empowered mind. And what is the importance of decluttering really? Why should you declutter? It increases your effectiveness, optimal performance. You live a happier, healthier, and more fulfilling life. So, who doesn't want to declutter their life, their mind? No one. Because if you don't do that, you'll always be frustrated. You'll call yourself all those lifestyle diseases and conditions. That's why decluttering is so important. Knowing when to say yes and no is so important. Knowing when to remove those things in your minds and embrace things that are positive, it's very key. So that's why it's very important that you learn how to declutter your mind, and this book has it all for you. Now, let me go to ways in which we can apply the knowledge that we learn from this book in real life. How can we apply this knowledge of decluttering our minds using the tools, the strategies in our real life? So how can we identify and challenge negative thoughts, for example? Because negative thoughts will always lead us to decluttering. So for example, you catch yourself thinking, I'm never going to achieve my goals. So that's one of the negative thoughts that you have. You tell yourself, I'm never going to achieve my goals. So how can you do that? Challenge this thought by asking yourself if it is true or realistic. Just ask yourself, is it really true or realistic? And then identify evidence to support a more positive perspective, such as you can look at your past successes or your current efforts, and then replace the negative thought with that more empowering one, such as, for example, you can say, I'm capable of achieving my goals with hard work and dedication. Where have you gotten that evidence from? You've looked maybe at your past or your present, and then you've challenged that negative thought. You've looked at your past, your past achievements, and told yourself that I've always been capable of achieving my goals. If I achieved that, I worked hard and I was dedicated. Even with this one, I will achieve my goals even much better. That's how you challenge. You've identified a negative thought and you've challenged it. Number 2, practice mindful breathing. How can you do that? For example, you might feel overwhelmed by stress and anxiety. So how can you apply mindful breathing in real life? So find a quiet place and close your eyes. Practically, if you find yourself overwhelmed with stress of work and anxiety, so many things in life causes stress and anxiety, just find a quiet space and close your eyes. Focus on your breath. Inhale deeply through your nose and exhale slowly through your mouth. Can you do that for me in just 30 seconds? Breathe in deeply through your nose, deeply. Exhale slowly through your mouth. Okay, you feel nice. You can try that once again. Breathe in In with your mouth closed, just breathe in with the nose. In, feel those energies. Then release with your mouth. Slowly. That is it. Just be practicing that when you feel stressed and anxious. Just try that. Notice those physical sensations of your breath and allow your mind to calm. It is so practical, please, my people. It is so practical. Always be trying that. Now, if, for example, you want to set SMART goals, it's another way that I want us to see how you can apply that. For example, you want to improve your fitness, but feel insecure where to start. You do not know where to start, but you want to improve your fitness. How can you apply the lessons that you learn from this book? Define a specific goal, such as running a 5K race, that's 5 kilometers race within 3 months. That's what you want. Make sure that the goal is measurable, achievable, relevant to your interests, and time-bound. Break down the goal into smaller, manageable steps and create a plan to achieve these goals. How can you start minimizing distractions? Practical ways on how you can minimize distractions. For example, you might be trying to work on a project, but you are constantly distracted by your phone notifications. You want to work on a project, but you are constantly working or being distracted by your phone notifications. How can you do that? You can just simply turn off those notifications from your phone and put it away in a different room. Use tools like website blockers to limit distractions from social media and other online platforms. Simply, you can do that. Then there are so many ways that I've written in our write-up summary. You'll have to go and check on them. I'll not go through each one of them because of the impact of time. So how can you schedule time for relaxation and self-care? How can you create a decluttered environment in your home? How can you practice positive affirmations? How can you nurture positive relationships? I have all of those specific examples in the write-up summary. Now, let me rush to key takeaways from this book. What can we take away from this book? So the key takeaways and conclusions from this book that you can go home with. Number 1, mental clutter can significantly impact your well-being, leading to stress, anxiety, and decreased production. Identifying the sources of mental clutter is crucial for effective decluttering, and reframing negative thoughts and practicing mindfulness are essential tools for clearing your mind and reducing negativity. Number 2, knowing your core values and passions help you make decisions, set goals, and live a fulfilling life. Setting SMART goals provides direction, motivation, and increases the likelihood of achieving them. And number 3, prioritizing tasks, minimizing distractions, and managing time effectively are keys to achieving goals. When you go to mindfulness and mindset and relationships, what are some of the takeaways? Cultivating an attitude of gratitude and practicing positive affirmations can significantly improve your mindset and well-being. Surrounding yourself with supportive and positive people can uplift and inspire you, while limiting interactions with negative individuals is crucial for mental health. Number 3, building a strong support network provides encouragement, understanding, and positive influence. How can you embrace takeaways on embracing decluttering as a process? So mental decluttering, you should know that it's a lifelong journey that requires commitment and consistent effort. That's a takeaway. Celebrate small victories, learn from setbacks, and seek support when needed. Another takeaway. Integrate mindfulness, gratitude, and positive affirmations into your daily routine for long-term mental clarity and well-being. So remember that decluttering when your physical environment can also have an impact on your mental clarity. So always start with your physical environment. So learn to say no to unnecessary commitments to help you reduce stress and free up time for what matters most. Always take breaks and engage in activities that you enjoy, because that is essential for maintaining balance and preventing burnout. And burnout is very, very bad. And it's very easy to get burnout if you do not check on your mental state, those mental patterns, and if you do not declutter your mind. So from those takeaways, which is one of my takeaway that I picked from this book that I can go home with? So I want to give you one biggest main takeaway from this book. So the biggest takeaway that I get from this book is that you have the power to control your thoughts and cultivate a more peaceful and fulfilling life. You have that power. You have the power to control your thoughts. It is your responsibility, and you have the power. You have the willpower to control your thoughts and cultivate a more peaceful and fulfilling life. Peaceful, happy, and fulfilling life. Just like you will not let your physical space become cluttered and disorganized. You will not allow your home or your physical space to become cluttered and disorganized. You can learn to manage your mental space and remove the negative thoughts, worries, and anxieties that hold you back. So our thoughts are powerful tools that shape our emotions, experiences, and overall well-being. So therefore, decluttering our mind emphasizes that although you cannot control every external factor in our life or in your life, you can control the internal response to them. So by decluttering your mind of negativity, you can reduce stress and anxiety, increase focus and production, improve your relationships, enhance self-confidence and self-esteem, and experience a greater and deeper happiness and fulfillment. So while decluttering your mind requires consistent effort and dedication, the benefits are significantly impactful. So you can take control of your thoughts and cultivate a more positive and peaceful mental space. You can create a more fulfilling and enriching life, which is happy, the life that you want, by decluttering your mind. So that ends this summary. This was just a brief summary here and there, but we have a deep, detailed, insightful, and in-depth summary of this book in our website, that is vidanmeds.com/blog. Then you can search in the search bar, Declutter Your Mind Book Summary, Declutter the Mind Book Summary. Well, I'll also leave a link to the same summary in our description below. In the summary, what will you get that I've not mentioned in this book? In this section, you get the summary of chapter titles and main sections, comparison of this book to other books on the same subject. I'll give you the bio of these two authors, and there are some of their interesting facts. I'll also give you the target audience and intended readership, reception and critical response of the book, my personal thoughts and the reviews of the book. Then I'll also give you some other book recommendations that you can have after reading this book. So, does this book entice you? Was this summary helpful? I know it was. I know it was helpful. So, you can support us as you've always been doing, in whichever way that you might feel that it can be a blessing to us. How? By liking, sharing, tagging a friend, subscribing, leaving a comment. Doing so will help us push this work further, and most people will benefit just like you've benefited, and we'll always be blessed together, because our work is to help you discover your purpose and live a meaningful life and find that personal development and personal growth in any area of your life. So, until next time, I want to wish you all the best. May you continue learning, evolving, and becoming better each day. From Vidan Medze was your host, Daniel, and may God bless you.